I'm kind of a pash, but I almost want to say smash just so that at the very end I can hear him go,
I came.
Hello everyone, it's Rain. Today we have a very exciting video for you for Halloween.
They're showing a Halloween episode in November.
And I am joined by the one, the only.
Oh, it's me, it's Nick. You know me as Knick Knack Paddywhack, you know?
Knick Knack Paddywhack!
Yeah, in case you didn't know, we're dating. Fun fact, right?
We're dating?
Yeah, we're dating.
You like me?
Yeah, I do.
Anyway, so today's video, we're going to be doing
a Smasher Pass featuring Dead by Daylight characters in the spirit of Halloween.
In November.
We're going to do Dead by Daylight Killers Smasher Pass. I'm very excited. Are you excited?
I am too. Just a quick disclaimer, we are not glorifying serial killers or anything like that.
Womp womp.
But in this case, some of them do look pretty nice, and
I mean, I'm just saying, if I were in a room with them,
if they were chasing me, I would intentionally go slower and be like, no, get
no,
away.
Trapper, don't put that trap in front of me.
No,
Oh
don't
my
knock me
God.
down with that big item.
Stop chasing me. Oh.
Yeah, so this is just gonna be a little fun. We will do a quick little like blurb of who each character is, what we know about their lore, and just a little bit so if you aren't familiar with Dead by Daylight, we can at least paint a very scribbly like sketch of each character.
We're just gonna jump right in, and first off we have the Trapper, also known as Evan McMillan. Do you know the Trapper's backstory?
Not a whole lot. All I know is he was responsible for like a coal mine collapse or something like that.
Yeah, so he and his father, Archie, had the Macmillan estate together. It was very wealthy, did very well. Eventually, Archie got old and started to, go senile. And so Evan wanted to protect the wealth while his father was going crazy, and there were hundreds of people who wanted in on that wealth, and he led them into dark tunnels and blew it up, and they all died. Later, his father was found in his own warehouse, abandoned and locked up.
That's hot.
Right?
Yeah. Honestly, I do want to give Trapper just a good old look at him. I do want to say that I do give him a pass because I know what he does use for like tools. I don't really like the bear traps because that's just uncomfy. That dude also has like a bunch of stuff bulging out of his shoulders, so that definitely isn't going to be comfy.
That is a really good point. His skin also looked like it was burned as well in the mine, so that would be something to get past.
It's very like if you're a sucker for textures, I guess that's fun for you, but
I do like
I mean, look at the
texture.
face. That is a face that maybe not even a mother could love because I mean, I don't like the mask. I'm just gonna have to stick with my guns on this one and go with the pass here on this one.
See, I respect that, but like, I don't know, I feel like it would be a little thrilling in a way. I don't love the fact that he's probably the reason his father was abandoned and locked up somewhere. I wouldn't want that.
You find bear traps thrilling?
Well, who said that those are actually going to be used? You know what I mean? Like,
I'm assuming that at least everything that's part of their character and kit may be used somewhere, whether it's pleasurable or not.
okay, well, when you put it that way, I would pass. But just looking at him, I would say smash.
Yeah, I mean, he does got a broad frame.
I'm a sucker for good arms.
He's
That's
got a broad
really-
frame.
that's
I'm
really
just
all it is.
the big turnoffs for me are the big mask, the
I don't mind a
the
mask.
textured skin.
I
That's
love
definitely
texture.
like it feels very like scaly. I think that those are like big turnoffs for me.
All right, so Trapper, sorry, you are mostly half. Next up, we have the Wraith. He got a job at Auto Haven Wreckers, found out his boss was using him to demo cars that had people in them, and his boss was being paid off to dispose of the bodies. Once Philip found out about this, he was big mad, threw his boss into one of the cars, smashed him, but his head was sticking out, ripped out his head, and some of his spine came out, and now that is the weapon he uses in the fog.
Okay, I will say he's already experienced at smashing people, so I already know he's gonna be doing good at that. Plus, he's a guy who works hard. I love a man who does good work. I love this guy. He's a strong, silent type. He's definitely got the runner legs like me, chicken legs.
Yeah,
So
with the
I can relate to him there.
broad
So
top.
good old Philip the Wraith is a smash for me.
I'm also gonna go with Smash on this. I just think he's such a cutie, and he's so like wholesome. He was like genuinely upset when he found out he was being used to end people's lives. And sure, he like ended one more, but like,
Yeah,
I just think he's a wholesome guy. I like him.
He's literally a smashable guy, so I have to go smash on that too.
Smash from me too. Third on our list, we have the Hillbilly. He was raised on a farm, sort of, not really raised. He was unnamed, even though it says his name is Max Thompson Jr. In his lore, he has no name. He was unwanted because he was born deformed. His parents kept him in a separate room that was locked and closed off and fed him through a hole. But one day he escaped, got revenge on his parents, and then ran out into the cornfield in a frenzy and slaughtered all the rest of the animals that were on the Coldwind farm where he grew up. And that's when he went missing and was taken by the fog.
Kudos, and I love getting revenge on people who wronged you and treated you terribly, but I do think killing all of the animals, for me, that's where I'm like, okay, buddy, you took it a little too far. I appreciate the self-defense. I know that you were kind of born with a butter's face there, but I do have to go past just off that characteristic there, but I do respect the grind, getting revenge, but I think that's really what I respect you for.
I do love an underdog story. I hate going against the Hillbilly and DVD, and I will say that is putting a filter over my opinion here. Every time I hear his scream, I just want to DC immediately.
So this is more of just an experience with hillbillies for you.
I am traumatized by this man. So it's definitely a pass for me. And also, you bring up a good point with the animals. As a vegan, I do not condone his actions and have to also pass in that respect. Next up, we have Wraith's girlfriend, the nurse. I'm pretty sure that's canon now.
And also, I gotta say, just reading her name, Sally Smithson, that has to be the most made-up name I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Sally originally wanted the white picket fence dream. You know, her husband was a carpenter. She wanted him to build a beautiful house for them to raise kids in together.
Aww.
But unfortunately, he died on the job.
Oh.
So she had to take care of herself, and the only job she could get was at an asylum working night shifts.
Hot girl shit.
Yeah, right. Except it was very difficult for her to do, and she just slowly descended into her own insanity working the night shifts for 2 decades straight. One day, she eventually just snapped after having these ideas of purity and purification start going through her head, and she was found just rocking in a corner, mind completely gone, and there were like 50 patients and 4 workers just dead around her, and it looked like they had been choked to death. So they tried to rush her to the hospital in an ambulance. The ambulance crashed, and all of the people who were working it were dead, and she was missing.
Well, this is fun. It started off fun and interesting, and then it just drove right off a cliff with how depressing it got. This is like speedrunning sadness. Jeez.
Yeah.
I can totally understand, like, you know, having a job that just drives you nuts to the point where maybe you do want to commit crimes, maybe, but I understand it, but I don't do it, I guess.
Condone.
I don't condone it, yes.
Remember, this is killers smash or pass, so we have to sometimes look a little bit past their flaws.
Yeah, I will say everything did sound very interesting. Like I love that, like, oh, she's already like wanted to have like that pretty life, and when you get to the choking thing, that is not a kink of mine, so that is definitely a pass for me.
Since when? I, on the other hand, I'm gonna have to go smash with this one, especially when you see her in her outfit where it shows her just with the little blindfold, and you see more of her face and her beautiful red hair. Like, she was very pretty. I'm definitely going smash. I can fix her.
Try and fix her, but all right, we have our answers.
All right, next up we have the Shape, also known as Michael Myers. I don't think I have to really explain the lore behind this one. So, what do you think?
You can just go first real quick, because...
All right, I'm gonna have to go pass on this one, personally. Because I just feel like he is one of those people who have the kink of standing on the other side of the room and watching you the entire time. And the way he does that watching would make me way too uncomfortable.
But here's the thing. He's able to pick up someone like easily with one arm, lift them off the ground, and like stab them. That's like what his mori is. Dude has so much arm strength and body strength, and he's
You're
also
not
very
wrong.
quiet. So he's the strong, silent type there. And I'm gonna give him a smash on this one.
You're giving a smash.
I am giving a smash to good old Mikey Myers. You heard it right here, damn it.
Next up, we have the Hag. Pass.
I mean, I was gonna try and be really kind here because I know she's like really smart, she's sweet. The only thing she did was just use like the hexes to get ahead in school, so you are a little guilty trying to cheat through your classes there. Yeah, every time I see the Hag and play against her, this is always terrifying and it always scares me because there are some characters where I'm ready for the jump scare. This is always one where I'm not, so.
Yeah, I mean, she did kind of have a little bit of a tragic backstory, getting basically abducted and chained to a wall and stuff like that. But I see her skeletal figure and the mouth looking like Melina from Mortal Kombat,
yeah.
and I have to pass.
Yeah, we're both the pass on this one.
Next, we have the Doctor, also known as Herman Carter. Used to be a doctor and did really horrible things to his patients, and that's all I really care to get into about this man. He is just a sick fuck.
Pure evil.
Pure evil and demented, and his face is just permanently in this terrifying, eyes open wide.
Amazing expression of no eyelids or lips.
He's just very happy.
He's very
all
happy.
The time.
Even if I wanted to look past the terrible things he did with all of his patients and test subjects, that face is what makes this the biggest pass. Screw you, Doctor. You're unfun to play against, and you're also very unpleasant to look at.
Number 8 on our list is the Huntress, also known as Hannah. She was raised by her mother to be able to defend herself in the harsh woods, but one day, tragically, her mother threw herself in front of an elk that they were hunting, and that started charging them. She wanted to protect her daughter Anna. Her mother died. The elk went after Anna, impaled her. However, she managed to actually swing down an axe and kill the elk. She then ended up kind of losing her mind after she lost her mother and was permanently trapped in this childlike imagination, clung to the idea of having a daughter. So she started luring little girls to her cabin in the woods. They would always die of sickness or starvation. Then she went into towns and started slaughtering all of the people there and stealing their daughters. That's basically her story.
Yeah, I know that she also like hunted down like an entire like
army of
soldiers.
Yeah.
She's very much like a strong-willed person.
Strong, independent woman who don't need no man.
Very much so. But after you bring up the whole like kids thing, them dying of starvation, like if you can't raise a Tamagotchi, like that's a red flag. And I think like accidentally like leaving the kids to starve is a big thing.
She herself was a kid when her mom died, so she is basically still that little traumatized girl trapped in now an adult body, and she has that childlike mindset.
Who is a brick shithouse, I will say. She is huge.
She too got nice arms.
Look at just hooked on you.
Oh my god.
I will say, I can't put that to the side, the whole, like, the kids thing. I think that is the biggest red flag for me, because it's like...
Same.
And she's still childlike, too, so that's like another concern, because it's like, alright.
If you just look at the Huntress head-on, zero lore, I would say smash.
I would say smash.
The moment you learn about who she is and what she's done, it's a pass.
That's exactly what I was thinking. It's like, yeah, this is like, alright, surface level. But it's as soon as you peel away that first layer, it's like, no.
So she is a spaz.
A spaz? Yeah, alright.
A pash,
our first pash, I guess.
Yeah.
Ever.
So 9th on the list, we have the Cannibal, who is Leatherface. Pass.
Okay, hear me out. Hear me out.
I don't know if I want to.
Okay,
but go on.
This guy is a family man. He does
God.
stuff all for his family. He's a hard worker providing for his family.
He has a mask kink.
He does have a mask kink.
I'm not against that.
Primarily it's because his family told him that his face was ugly.
Okay, so he's got trauma.
Even when people do come to his place, they're always staying over. They're hanging around quite literally because he has meat hooks in the basement where he wants to prep them for dinner. And I can't take this joke any longer. This is another pass. Like, stay in Texas and get the hell away from me. Oh, geez.
10th, we have the Nightmare, Freddy Krueger. He is a style icon, I will say. And I love the whole Edward Scissorhands vibe when I look at him.
He definitely knows how to milady people because of the fedora, and it's that one SpongeBob episode, the best time to wear striped sweaters all the time.
And if you have a kink of like being degraded, perfect, you know? You will constantly be called a bitch the entire time.
And a big thing, because if it were Robert Englund Freddy Krueger, I would kind of lean towards that hash or smash around there, because they make him more cheerful. I mean, okay, I'm really undermining it when I say this, but the red flag he had is he was a child killer. This is the reboot one, and this is where he's an actual PDF file instead.
PDF. Oh!
Yeah, so this one, he's more of a monster than the original one.
Okay, well then I'm gonna pass.
Yeah, so, yeah, screw this guy. Freddy just sucks in this game.
Next up, we have the pig, who is Amanda Young from the Saw movies.
She's
a very pretty lady.
Yeah.
I am going to go with smash on this one, as she is one of the people who can teabag.
Oh, I mean, if you want, I was kind of thinking more of like her lore, like, because I kind of know of her because of the Saw movies.
Another underdog story.
She was able to get out of a Saw trap, ended up working for the Jigsaw Killer.
Going off and doing her own thing and getting revenge on her bullies, which we love.
But I will say, I guess if I have to be a little biased, it is fun booping the snoot, so.
I love to boop a snoot.
And also because Ghostface ships, they make her more adorable, so I will have to give Pig a smash on this one. She's not a pig. She is, I don't know.
She's a swine lady. Coming in hot at number 12, we have the clown, also known as Jeffrey Huck, and I'm gonna pass immediately. I hate clowns. I have nothing to say about this man. He is a clown and I don't like him.
I was gonna say, like, even benefit of the doubt if it's a clown, because
nope.
Benefit of the doubt. I know he is like he's very unsettling and unnerving to hear, because like, imagine like you have plenty of drinks in your system or whatever gets you in the mood, and he tries to whisper in your ear and all you hear is a it's like, okay, yep, never mind. I am immediately putting my pants back on and I am leaving. That is another pass for me.
Next we have one of the prettiest people, I think, in DBD, at least as far as the killer rosters go. We have the spirit, Rin Yamaoka, and she, for her backstory, watched her mother be hacked apart by her father, and then she was next, and now she is a vengeful spirit. And I personally think she is just really pretty. If you saw her in Hooked on You, just absolutely gorgeous. Loved her outfit, and it's an in-game
It's a dating
cosmetic.
Yeah, it's an in-game cosmetic, so it's like,
it's canon.
I already thought that, like, her backstory, like, I just felt bad for her because, like, oh, she's just completely innocent.
She was.
And then she just got wronged horribly. And then finding out that, like, oh, like, now she wields the blade, now she's this, and
underdog.
We love another underdog story.
Yeah.
We also love that she's just pure at heart. She has no skeletons in the closet.
Yeah, she was just like a student going about her day-to-day life, loved her family.
And then next thing you know, she's hooked on you with that outfit.
I would definitely smash for the spirit. I think she's so pretty. And I do love that she is also just pure of heart. She's a good person. There's nothing really bad about her and her lore.
Yeah,
and
like,
now she has the power to get revenge on those who wronged her.
That's like one of my big things too with it that I just mentioned is like, yeah, because like many of the other killers we had to look at so far, it's like, yeah, you put that aside and then you can just kind of look at it. But this is like, no, like you don't have to put anything aside. She's just a good person who just happens to take the role of a killer.
The only thing that would be questionable is, one, she is a spirit, so I don't know how that would work. And two, she has like that like phasing thing. And I also wonder if the whole time she's gonna be going, you know what I mean? Like she does in the game.
Think of it making it more exciting.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so definitely smash for the spirit. Next on our list, we have the Legion, which is actually made up of 4 characters: Frank, Julie, Susie, and Joey. I do want to do a quick insert here. I did look up ages for everyone, because in the lore, they start at like 15, 17, and stuff like that. By the time they're in the fog, it's said that they are all 18 or older. So I just wanted to put that disclaimer there. None of them are children anymore,
and
as
none
we're
of us
talking
are
about
weird.
them. Yeah. So just for those who are like, aren't they like 50? Because I know Susie was like 15 at one point.
In like the beginning of the lore, yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry, guys. They're legal. Anyway. Don't be a creep. Frank, Julie, Susie, and Joey. For the backstory, Frank was kind of the ringleader. He was the oldest of the four. Julie was his girlfriend. He convinced her to want to go on this little murder spree and then bullied Susie and Joey into it. So Susie and Joey are the more like pure at heart, never wanted to do it. They ended up, they like broke into somewhere.
Like
and
a gas station, if I'm
like
correct.
a gas station.
Yeah.
So it wasn't supposed to be a murder spree, but they ended up killing at the end. And it just turned into a whole thing. So
And they hang out at like a ski lodge, which is like where their hideout is.
yeah, the Ormond's ski. I was
resort,
about to say
yeah.
Orville Redenbacher. That's not right. For them, I don't know. That's a little tricky.
Yeah, this is weird because I mean they already kind of seem like
Frank gives me like Ghostface vibe.
The biggest thing with me on this one is like, all right, they're younger people and they're not at that phase where they're like have grown up and they know not to be immature. Yeah, because killing people and crimes are immature. I forgot. But I mean, I could imagine like being at like a bar or a public setting and maybe just like having a few fun words with them, but I wouldn't go anything beyond that. So I'd have to go pass on these four.
Yeah, they might be a little more deranged and disturbed, and they seem to have a lot of internal conflict that they need to work through, and I don't really feel like getting into the middle of the crosshairs. So I do want to say they have fantastic drip. Love the outfits.
I do love the drip a bunch.
Good job, guys. I do think I'm going to pass. Next on our list, we have the Plague, who is probably one of my favorite looking of the killers. I love her design. I think it's so cool. She was first off abandoned on the steps of a holy place, and she was taken in at a young age, and from that age and that time in her life, she decided that she had a higher purpose. So she started to serve the temple and do whatever kind of stuff that they needed. She learned how to take care of the gardens, the temple itself, and learned different rituals, including one's purification. Eventually, a plague, unfortunately, befell the land, and she was asked to step up and do one of the purification rituals. So on the first time she went to perform this, a woman in the room with her ended up fainting. She chopped off her own toe and offered it to the gods to try and protect this woman. After that, she ended up gaining followers and being seen as a high priestess, and she continued to try and do these rituals to help with the plague, but then she ended up getting a horrible infection.
Oh, jeez.
She banished herself from the temple and the city of Babylon, along with her followers, went to a cave, was in a pool of her own vomit, and then saw that her foot was black and swollen. So she got an infection from trying to cut off her toe to offer it to the gods to save that woman. So just a really sad story.
Sad.
She really tried her hardest to help these people, and then that's basically when the fog took her, because she and the followers that went with her all had the plague at that point. Yeah.
Kudos to
That was
her for like actually trying to help people, but it's just like a sad story. She's not a bad person at all. And I do like the drip she's wearing. I do like all the gold to it.
She has a really cool design, but then when you look behind the cool design, she does have like
half
the
her
decaying
face is,
skin, half of her face is gone. Her thing that she does is like vomits on people,
Yeah.
but she thinks she's helping them.
Yeah, so that could be a big turn off
Yeah.
and turn on depending on who you are.
I think you are. I can see that being a kink for some of you.
Yeah, beyond that, I do appreciate the fact that she's caring and endearing.
Even though she looks like a zombie.
Yeah, even
with
though that,
a
like,
mad infection.
she's very much someone who puts other people before her, so she's very caring in that aspect. And who cares if she looks like Batman's Two-Face with the crown off her head?
But worse.
Yeah, but give her some Nivea skincare, give her some Halls cough drops, and maybe
That girl
like
needs Cetaphil.
and maybe some Pepto-Bismol to stop with the vomiting.
Yeah.
And then you could be in for a real good night. So I'm gonna say the whole package, the package I'm delivering to make sure she's doing better with modern healthcare that we have. I'm gonna go with the smash on this one.
Every part of my being is screaming, say pass, when I look at her skin. It is foul. It is foul.
You're looking down so much, just like
I know.
Your face winces more and more.
I know, like, it's bad. It's bad. I mean, I'm sure there's a picture up on the screen right now. But then I just think about how pretty she is actually in
On
her
the
story,
inside.
and I just want to say smash. So I'm gonna go smash. Number 16 on our list is the Ghostface. Danny
Now,
Johnson.
Danny, yeah, it's not Matthew Lillard or other guy, because of a weird rights thing. So mad at me. So I almost wanted to give Ghostface, because I'm totally not biased, I almost want to give him like the biggest smash possible. The only reason it's not is because it's not Matthew Lillard.
That is so real. That is a very good reason.
But he's still smash. It's just that it would be 100%.
It would be like a smash if it was Matthew Lillard, but it's just a smash for you.
Yeah, it's just, and not even, it's just, yeah, smash. It not like smash with a capital S-M Ash. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely am going smash for sure, but also like that's no surprise because Ghostface in himself is like a kink for a lot of people.
Yeah.
There are couples, I know some of you might be watching this right now. There are couples who go to Spirit Halloween to get a Ghostface costume just to do kinky stuff. And honestly, I see you and I respect it.
Good for you. I hope you're living your best life.
Yeah, so definitely smash. So next we have the Demagorgon, and I never watched the show he's from, but you have.
Yeah, I've seen the first 2 seasons, a bit of season 3.
So do you want to just talk about his lore real quick?
Yeah, so there are multiple Demagorgons. So the Demagorgon is not unique as in like, oh, it's just one of this killer. So the Demagorgon belongs to like the Mind Flayer, which is something that lives in like the Upside Down, which is a parallel universe to
Baldur's Gate.
very much. It's literally D&D lore.
Okay.
It's just a monster with like razor sharp teeth that just kills people. So it's responsible for killing like a bunch of high schoolers, people within the Hawkins facility.
So it's basically just a monster that only has death on its mind.
Yeah. So at this point, it's not even a pass; it's a run.
Yeah. Okay, I agree. I do have one comment though. You know how moray eels exist? Is it
Yeah, moray eels. Yeah.
With the mouth.
Yeah, the moray eels with like the round mouth with like the
With the teeth.
Yeah.
That's what it's giving. And I have a very real fear of those.
Oh.
And when I see that is all I see is a moray eel.
I don't like Demagorgons in game or in the series, so.
I'm gonna look at a moray eel. Will you put a picture on the screen? Oh no, it's not that.
Oh, it's not the moray. I do know what you're talking about though.
I'm gonna find it.
3 hours later.
It's a sea lamprey. I hate those things. Oh my god, it's so terrifying.
Anyway, there's a fun thing you got to know about Rain today.
Okay, so next we have the Oni, and he's supposed to be like the great grandfather to the spirit. So this is the Oni, Kazan Yamaoka, and he has a very long, interesting backstory. He wanted to bring honor to his family, and so he ended up stealing a weapon and going across the land to kill false samurai, quote unquote. And reading through the story, to my understanding, whoever was ruling at the time had like his samurai, right? But then when they went to war, sometimes they would have to call upon like farmers and have them help out with their pitchforks and whatever. And so those are the ones he targeted and started killing them and taking trophies from them as well.
Okay.
And people of course saw it like, okay, that's messed up, and started calling him Oni Yamaoka, which brought more dishonor to his family, naturally.
Makes sense. Well, makes sense.
They're calling him an ogre. So then one day, a huge samurai comes face to face with him, gets the upper hand, but then Kazan gets the upper hand and defeats that samurai. Well, that samurai turned out to be his own father, trying to kill him to bring honor back to the family name. That ends up leading Kazan to wander the land, eventually running into a bunch of samurai at the gates of the lord who started calling him Oni Yamaoka, killed all those samurai, ripped out the tongue of that lord.
Oh, jeez.
Naturally. He was satisfied at that point, but then he turns around to none other than a bunch of farmers with pitchforks, the exact people he called false samurais, and went on a killing spree for, and they defeated him.
Oh.
And that is how
Oh,
he
I
was
thought-
brought into the fog.
Oh, I thought this was gonna lead to like, oh, he defeats all the farmers, and then all the farmers are all like,
No.
we'll show you.
No.
Good on the farmers
Yeah.
on that one. The
He
more
was
I-
their original target. He
the-
defeated the real samurai and was defeated by his quote-unquote false samurai.
Yeah, the more I learn about who Oni is, this guy kind of sucks.
A little bit. But he
Yeah.
thought he was doing the right thing. He was just deranged.
He's the hero in his own story, but everyone else sees him as a monster.
It's very Thanos core.
Yeah, very much so. So for that, I mean, despite having the really cool mask, who he is as a whole, I know he has that giant knabo, which can be used for fun stuff, but I don't want to be anywhere near this guy if he's so up his own, like, if he's this much of a jerk to people.
Definitely in his own world.
Yeah, he's in his own world on this one, and everything that you described, where he's like everything has, he kind of reminds me of Kung Lao a little bit. Like, it's like everything has, like, I want to do the best that's for me and me only, and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
he's such an ass. So I want to give him like a pass.
Right.
But I am gonna steal the mask before I do end up leaving the same room as him. As like the last little.
Yeah, it is a really cool mask, and I love his design, but I feel like that mask also now is like just his face. I don't know if it's actually like a mask at this point.
Oh yeah, because the eyeball looks around. I forgot.
Yeah. So honestly, I'm gonna go smash. Like, I want him to like pick me up and pin me against a wall a little bit.
This is taking a turn I was not expecting. Jeez. Well, kudos to you. I hope you have a fun time
Thank
with it.
you. It will be.
I hope your tongue stays intact.
Oh, good point. Up next, we have Caleb Quinn, the Death Slinger. Now, he has an interesting story. He was an inventor, and originally he created things to push railroad spikes into the ground. There was one that was...
Love a working man.
Right? And his boss was Henry Bayshore, who eventually ended up stealing his patents and selling them. This, of course, pissed Caleb off,
As it should.
as it should, and he then took his fancy device and pushed one of those railroad spikes through that man's intestines.
Hot.
Miraculously, he lived.
Oh, never
Caleb
mind.
was thrown in prison, but became friends with the warden, creating devices to catch outlaws for. He kind of made a pact with him. Eventually, he got out. He made the gun that he uses in the game, the spear gun, and used it on originally a thief. It worked, and then he continued to go gather outlaws. He ended up with a gang that like pledged themselves to him. But then he was thrown in jail again because he was sold out by both the warden and his boss.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say the gang. I'm like, damn, that
and
is like
the gang. No.
They
No.
ratted him out.
The Hellshire gang thankfully helped him get out, and he got his revenge on Bayshore, the boss, and the warden. Basically, his story.
This is very much an interesting one because you find out that like he's involved in a gang. You find out he's an inventor, so he's very much a creative guy.
Very creative, yeah. And honestly, like, I think his heart was in the right place the entire time. Like, he was just an inventor. He was just trying to make money. He was helping out with the railroad. And
Like that part I can get behind.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's caring and supporting of people.
And then he was using his devices to capture thieves and outlaws. Like, it was never supposed to be, like, a spiteful thing. And the only people he went after were the ones who went after him first.
So he only went after people who wronged him. So his heart's
Yeah.
in the right spot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say, even though that like that harpoon gun can be dangerous, it's similar to Scorpion when we did that.
Yeah, definitely Scorpion
You can
vibes.
definitely get very creative with the whole like.
Not as cute as Scorpion, though, because he is, like, an old dude with a big mustache.
I was gonna say like, oh yeah, like using the rope spear, like using that spear and
Yeah.
whatnot. I mean, he can pull you in to make things more spicy, similar to what Scorpion can do with the rope thing. But
Also, like, nothing against mustaches. It's just a very interesting mustache.
yeah, he's got an interesting mustache. It also just shows how much.
Mustaches are okay.
Yeah, it's very old-fashioned.
Very old-fashioned. Very dangly.
Also, I'm a big sucker for the hat too.
I love a big hat.
I'm gonna go with Smash on this one.
I don't know. I Smash on the personality. I feel like, and I don't even drink, but I feel like if I was drunk enough, I would let him hit it. If I like was in a bar with him chatting one night and like we were just trauma bonding, you know? Other than that, I would have to go pass.
Yeah, he seems like he'd be someone fun to kind of hang out with, but
yeah.
maybe like a one and like, all right, that was it.
Yeah, he'd be the loudest one singing Piano Man in the saloon. Number 20, we have the Executioner, who is also Pyramid Head from Silent Hill. I am just going to go right on ahead and say Smash on this one.
I will say similar to Ghostface, it could be a very smashable thing, but here's the problem.
I see no problem.
No, Dead by Daylight originally, before there was a patch that went out, he used to have a larger butt. And they patched his butt
They
out.
nerfed his butt?
He used to be all caked up, and they removed that pyramid cake.
Remember what they took from us.
Now you know why he's an executioner and punishes people. It's because they took his butt from him.
Well, now I empathize even more, and I'm even a little bit more into it, not gonna lie. So I'm still gonna say Smash.
I'm gonna say Smash because it's a similar case to Mikey Myers for me. Like he's a strong silent type.
Great arms.
Great physique and
just
like
in general, great physique. Mask stays on! For 21, we have Talbot Grimes, also known as the Blight, also known as
The Pass.
Jumping right into number 22, we have the twins, Charlotte and Victor. You know a little bit about the lore.
I know, playing with one of our friends, he thought that Victor was a baby. Victor is not a baby. It's actually just Charlotte's conjoined twins. But these two were actually like chased out of a village and were like the victims of like just angry villagers with pitchforks trying to chase them out. So you kind of feel sorry because they were seen as like freaks, but just kind of look at like what you're dealing with here.
The cavernous hole in the chest of Charlotte is gonna be a little bit of an issue for me.
I mean, just imagine like you're like taking off the shirt and just like comes out at you.
I'm gonna have to pass on this one.
Yeah, this is a big pass too.
Next, we have Ji-woon Hawk. I think that's how you pronounce it. If I'm wrong, feel free to correct me. Also known as the Trickster. So for his lore, basically, he's a famous pop star. He is also a serial killer. And for his victims, he likes to torture them and include their screams in his music. Cute!
I think you left out a big part of his lore. He's not just a pop star, he's a K-pop star.
He is a K-pop star. He's also freaking hot. I really like him. He's got great aim.
I also love it whenever you base him when he is like in the Cupid outfit. If you like drop pellets on him, he actually is like jealous of you the whole time, and he's all like, "Oh, come here," and like, "Oh, it's so lovely," and stuff like that. And it's like adorable.
Definitely
but it's
play
disturbing.
into it. Yeah.
Yeah. I also the only thing that's giving me like the slight green flag of many red flags of this guy is that he does that little heart thing.
He does do the K-pop heart.
He does the K-pop heart sometimes.
I'm a big fan of that heart.
I am a little biased too because he does have one of the coolest Moris in the game. So, but we're not judging the Moris. We're judging based off if they're smashable or passable. So,
if you want to see that, you can check out this video.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the plug. But I will say, similar to Huntress and even I forgot who else we talked about earlier in this list here. Surface level, he's a smash.
Big smash.
But when you start to like find the mounds and mounds of skeletons in his like recording studio closet.
I can fix him.
Yeah, but he makes good music.
He makes great music. He's really cute. I mean, he won't do it to me.
You are literally giving him like the same excuse many people do with like really terrible artists. Like, yeah, but he makes good music though.
I'll scream for him in a different way, and then he won't have to kill people anymore.
I'm at a smash with this one.
I'm at a smash. Okay, next we have the Nemesis, and since you're a huge Resident Evil fan, I'll let you talk about him.
I have played Resident Evil, the remakes, and I'm very familiar with him because he was in Marvel vs. Capcom as well, but he is a BOW, which is like a bioweapon, which is meant to hunt down STARS members, which are like Jill Valentine, who's also in Dead by Daylight. So the reason he wears like this black is because it's carbon fiber. So what this does is that it will prevent him from mutating. So this is a big fear, is that if you remove the carbon fiber to see his like Nemesis T-type, whatever he has between his legs, he's gonna mutate more as a result. So that's when he becomes like this giant, freaky like monster at the end.
What I'm hearing is he's a grower.
He's very much a grower.
Okay. Okay.
So you have that at least, but the thing is he can only say stars. He doesn't have lips, so he's not really much of a kisser. But if you do want to make it spicy, he has all these tentacles that are already pre-lotioned up. Yeah, they're already like super wet and grody.
I'm gonna be honest. One of my catches, icks, is all the zombies. Like, are they gonna be part of this too?
I mean, he can kill them to make himself stronger is another thing.
Okay.
But
are they gonna be like banging on the windows while we're trying to like get freaky in the bedroom together?
Okay, another ick of mine. He's a zombie. He's a BOW. He's been around zombies a lot.
Do I turn into one?
You definitely can. My other thing is...
But will I? Like, for certain?
If not, he's literally just sent to... I mean, you're not a STARS member or Jill Valentine, so he's not gonna herb stomp your head into the ground, so you'd have to worry about that. But my thing is, he's been around zombies a lot, and I feel like that's equivalent to like getting like an STI, so that's like another fear. So
yeah, that's like if we
I'm passing on that alone because he's scaring me already.
If we were to do it, like, I don't want to for sure. If there is like a for sure chance that I won't get the zombie STI, I'm going smash.
The STZ.
The STZ. I do not want the STZ. But if I'm not gonna get that, it is a smash. Hey Nick, what's funnier than 24?
What?
25. Moving right into number 25, we have the Cenobite, Pinhead.
Who you calling Pinhead?
From, what's the movie?
Hellraiser.
Hellraiser. I gotta say, not a fan.
Is it because the nipples are out?
It's the nipples, it's the belly button, look, I have nothing against the chains and a bondage king, but it's the whole, like, bloody raw thing for me that I can't, like, it looks all bloody and raw and, like, you know, his stomach is just open for the world to see. And that's kind of terrifying to me.
I get where you're coming from on this one. I know what his motivation is. It's to find people and then create, like, pain and pleasure out of them.
Yeah.
And note one half of what I just said there, which is pleasure. He knows what at least I would find comforting, and he knows what I would find that hurts.
For sure.
And I don't mind a little spiciness with the chains. I mean, if we get to the point where it's gonna rip me apart, or as he would say, rip my soul apart, then yeah, we're definitely having a problem there. But I do think that him, Butterball, if that's his name, and the Chatterer can all bring in some like exciting things. Then count me in. I'm down for something experimental with this guy. So
you put it that way.
I'm going smash on this one.
I'm kind of a pash, but I almost want to say smash just so that at the very end I can hear him go, I came. So number 26, we have the artist. My
main.
girl. I am an artist main. I love Carmina. She has a very long story, so I'm going to try and summarize it to the best of my ability. Basically, she had really horrible life in general, and was blamed by her father for a lot of tragedies, including her brother drowning.
What a loving parent.
Yeah, she ended up putting a lot of her emotion into her art. She became well-known and recognized. There was a company that was very corrupt, and she called them out through her art, and
stick it to them.
Yeah, and then she and her most beloved people in her life ended up getting captured, and she cried out, sort of, because her tongue was cut off by them and her hands cut off so that she could never speak or make art again. And a bunch of crows came and killed all of her friends. Same crows that actually saved her life, because she did try to unalive at one point, but that was before she became an artist. That's like what led her to try and do something better with her life. So yeah, that's her. She always tried to do the best in her life, the best of her ability, help people around her. She loved her family, she loved her friends, but unfortunately, she just got the small stick, you know?
Yeah, it's another one of those, like, similar to Plague. It's just sad when you hear what's going on.
It's really sad.
You feel bad.
I personally, I'm biased, as I said, artist main here. I would smash. I love her a lot. I also think she's beautiful. The whole like and like no tongue thing is a little off-putting, but I think if I look past it, it'll be fine.
You just sold me on Goth Baddie, so that's a pass. Or Smash, sorry. Yep, so I'd say after everything you described and just the aesthetic, I'd say yeah, that's a smash.
Next we have the Onryo Sadako. I love Sadako. Personally,
I do too.
She's another underdog story, you know, thrown in a well, got revenge, hot girl shit.
It's another one of those sad stories, but I do love the fact that she's huge into like classic physical media, so that's a cool thing with all the videotapes.
Yeah, I would be afraid that if we locked eyes at any point, my heart would stop.
But at least you know you're going out in a beautiful way, looking at some beautiful eyes.
Those eyes terrify me. Her Mori, where like the eye fills the screen. Oh my god, I jumped so hard the first time I saw that.
She is a little creepy in that
Yeah.
regard, so maybe just put a blindfold on or something.
Like,
I don't
I
know.
love a goth baddie, but that would really...
That would really get to you.
Yeah.
That's a dangerous game you're playing.
But I mean, you would get to see her like crawl literally on top of you. That would be interesting.
Very interesting.
Just floating into the room and then crawling across the bed at you. Actually, the more I talk about it, I think I might have to go pass.
Yeah, I knew you. Going into this, I could tell you wanted to say Smash so badly, but I think the more you described it, you were like,
I talked
actually,
myself out.
never mind. I'm gonna just never come back here again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just go pass on this one too. It's more like a dangerous game. It's like owning a pet monkey. It sounds nice at first, and then it's just like, this is dangerous when I think about it.
Absolutely. Next on our list is the Dredge, who is basically a culmination of nightmares. With that in mind, I would have to go pass.
I almost was gonna get interesting with it, because until you said nightmares, at first I thought it was just a culmination of anything, because half of me was like, what if it would just throw out something very like appealing? Like,
I'm sorry.
maybe it's my celebrity crush Idris Elba coming out of there. And then you said nightmares. I'm like, oh, so it's just
No.
hornets and drowning in my
Yeah,
part. So
pretty much. You might hear like the screams of Idris Elba and he'd pop out with just like skin and sinew and bones
Yellow
sticking
jackets
out.
and stingers
Yeah, it would
coming
be
at
like
me.
the worst possible outcome of seeing him ever. Also, I do not wish that on him. He's an incredible person.
yeah, Rain and Idris Elba go way back.
Yeah. From what I know.
So I am gonna say pass on Dredge there, because it's just
Yeah.
a nightmare.
He's also another moray eel. Wait, I keep saying moray eel. He's
Lamprey.
another lamprey mouth, so definitely a pass for me. Next is the mastermind, Albert Wesker, another Resident Evil character, so go ahead.
All right, so he was the leader of the STARS operation in the first Resident Evil, and then I don't know the whole lore because one of my good friends has bullied me into playing 5, and I still haven't yet. So all I know is he wants to take over the world with Ouroboros, which is that weird like Venom symbiote thing on his hand.
Tentacle Daddy.
But I will say he can rock some shades. He looks really cool in leather, and I do
This is
love
true.
his suave voice the
Oh,
whole
same.
time. Beyond the whole like world destruction and like taking over the world thing,
I can look past it.
I can look past it with this guy.
Yeah, he is a very good looking man. I personally also like his Mori. I think there's other ways he could utilize that.
Yeah, tentacles can make it very fun.
Yeah. So
Yeah, so when this dude's not dominating Doctor Doom, it's a long story. I'll explain that later via YouTube series. But I will say he's dominating the bedroom as I smash him.
yeah, I'm definitely going smash for him. Next we have the Knight, who has a Hungarian name I cannot pronounce. I think it's Parhos Kovacs. He was killed by his own mother, but he actually survived, woke up in a pile of bodies, saw his village burning, then was captured and thrown in a wooden box, taken to Italy, and thrown into a life of slavery. But he basically trained to become a mercenary, which is eventually how he ended up winning freedom and becoming a knight with a few other followers. And long story short, he did some really horrible stuff on a job, threw chivalry to the side because he had done things under the guise of chivalry that really were horrible. And yeah, he just ended up throwing away honor for the sake of getting a stone, and now here he is in the fog.
Threw it all away just for a stone.
Yeah, he just like slaughtered a bunch of villagers who were guarding the stone that he was trying to get for someone else. And he just didn't even care about their lives, and then tried torturing the family of, it was like Vittorio was the guy's name who he was working for, to try and get answers about this thing, but he didn't give it to him. So yeah, he's another person who definitely is out for his own best interests.
Very selfish guy he is.
Yeah, his own code he lives by.
Yeah, I will say I am a little biased on Knight, honestly.
Because you are a knight player.
No, I've only played as him like twice, but I will say playing against him makes him so passable. This dude is so unfun to fight.
Knight players are
swear.
so toxic.
The fact that like he's the worst when it comes to like a 3-gen scenario, he always has his buddies coming in to ruin the fun, which could
Yeah.
probably ruin the fun if you end up getting in the bedroom with him if he's not selfish enough.
Yeah.
So all that aside, Knight is a pass.
I'm gonna have to go with a pass too, because every knight I have ever versed is the kind to put you on a hook and then immediately hit you. And I'm sorry, I'm a big believer in consent, so Pass. Number 31, we have the Skull Merchant, Adriana, who grew up in a really wealthy family. Her father wrote manga. Originally, he had one about a young girl who was a superhero, basically, and helped people for good.
Because that's what heroes do.
But then one day he lost funding on that, and it plunged the family into some hard times. Adriana was going to a private school at the time, and she ended up slipping and was no longer head of the class. And at this time, she kind of had a turn in her personality. She used to just be like a happy-go-lucky kid, kind of like the girl in the manga. After that, she ended up stalking the rival who dethroned her in class.
Oh, jeez.
She didn't do anything during that time.
Still weird.
A little weird, yeah. After that, her father started to write a new manga, one about a skull merchant who ended up doing horrible, nightmarish things based on some actual nightmares and visions he was having. And it was about a girl who used drones made of salvaged skulls and bones. As time went on and the family still was in hard times, her father left and abandoned them. She basically became the skull merchant. And that's her story.
What another weird story.
Yeah.
It sounds so fine at the start. Like, oh, a kid just loves the manga.
Just a
and all that.
happy-go-lucky, privileged girl, and then...
Psycho. This is interesting. Despite the really cool design, like the really cool mask and like the predator blade, the stalking thing was a little weird. I do think it's very interesting that it's using like skulls, so...
She's very passionate, okay?
Oh, passionate. Okay, so there's a quality.
She's passionate about people. She's a people person.
Yeah, I do think the only like a couple edges that I do give that's leaning me forward smash is that when she does her Mori, she does put her hand on your hip and kind of raise it up, kind of like in a slow, kind of sexual way.
Very nice.
And then that's where she would do like a back swipe to kill you, but you can imagine that she's kind of Melina-esque with that like kind of taunting and kind of getting a rise on them in some way. But I still want to say, because of like, the whole skull thing and the annoying drones that could be a nuisance while, trying to enjoy your time with her.
Yeah, is she gonna record it or
that was my thought.
it?
Is she gonna like leak it? So
yeah.
like,
if we like sign a waiver beforehand where it's gonna be private, like no leak, because she probably does have like a publicity kind of kink, you know?
Yeah, it's gonna be like worse than TMZ.
Yeah. We're just gonna have our private time. I think I would go Smash, and honestly, Mask stays on.
I'm going Smash on this one.
Big
Mask
fan.
stays on. It's edgy. I love it.
Next, we have the Singularity, also known as Hux AZ-13, who was a companion to space travelers who one day gained sentience and I guess became a murderous monster after that.
Yeah, and I guess, if you like to be called things in the bedroom, I hope Little Worm is one thing, because that's what he refers to humans all the time.
Yeah, he basically wants to extinguish humans.
Humans, yeah.
I'm definitely going pass on this one.
Okay.
Personally.
Hear me out.
Oh my god.
He's also a pass.
What?
Look, you really thought I had something there?
I was shocked you wanted me to hear you out. I'm glad it's a pass, otherwise I would have been a little concerned.
For me, the red eyes are definitely a little too much for me, and I don't like the fact
Not
that
the whole like tendon, bubbly sinew pulled over metal thing?
Well, you can get past that a little
How?
bit. I think like the weird thing, he like shoots cameras at people and like weird
Yeah, we have
blobby
another
things.
surveillance king.
I also don't like that he's very degrading the whole time. That's another thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hux.
Not for me.
Yeah, Hux sucks. I will say that. That's a pass.
For 33, we have the Xenomorph. I personally hate Alien. I don't like the whole injecting things into people thing. That's another fear of mine. You're an Alien fan, so you can say a little bit more about the Xenomorph, but
Yeah.
I off the bat am a pass.
Okay, well, it's fair enough. First off, thanks, Dad, for letting me watch this movie when I was a kid. If you don't like bugs, you're not gonna like the Xenomorph, because it's essentially like a space bug parasite thing, because...
I like bugs, I don't like parasites.
Yeah, because they have to have the face hugger go inside you and push the egg in your mouth. As you can tell, Rain really loves the concept of this.
La 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 la.
So anyway, Xenomorphs take after whatever they hosted. So this is based off of a human shape, which is why it's still a little bug-like, so that's why I can go by both quadrupedal and bipedal. It has a very long, sharp tail. It has a very long tongue that has a mouth at the end of it.
I feel like you're talking yourself into it right now.
But here's the thing, though. I never said any of this were positives. I was just describing things about this thing.
Maybe you're talking me into it.
No! I mean, there is the Queen, which is absolute girl boss material if you wanted to go there. But this is just the Xeno, the main Xeno we're looking at. So
Right.
Xeno, because you're a nightmare to go against, and the fact that I am afraid that I would definitely have like something bursting out of my chest as a result, I'd be able to experience the nightmares of childbirth as a result. So that's a pass.
I'm still a pass. Next we have Charles Lee Ray, also known as the good guy, also known as Chucky. Pass. I hate Chucky.
Okay, Chucky is one of my favorite slashers of all time.
He loves Chucky. He's a Chucky main.
I am a Chucky
He's
main.
biased.
No, I am a little biased though, but here's the thing. Charles Lee Ray was known as like, I think the Lakeshore Strangler, if I'm correct. He murdered a bunch of people in Chicago. He also has the power of voodoo.
Hoodoo?
He do. But yeah, no, that's not enough to like make him more smashable. On top of it, he's just a doll, but so here's another gross thing about him. Because his soul was trapped in the doll for a long time, that's why it looks less plasticky and more fleshy. And in case you were wondering, yes, that doll has a penis.
Oh my god.
As confirmed in Bride of Chucky. But I will say he's not an absolute monster because at least he's not homophobic as confirmed in Seed of Chucky and the straight-to-DVD movies.
Well, that's good, but he is still a pass for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I am
he's-
not into dolls.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not big into dolls either. I found them creepy. So yeah, he's still a pass for me though. Not even the bias can save me.
Next is 35, and I am cringing right now just looking at this
Just
picture.
a reference, we can't
Nick-
even have the picture up.
Nick recoiled in fear when I pulled his picture up.
Stop showing it.
Next is the unknown. I think it is very clear it is a pass from both of us. I am not into the whole body horror thing, and even though, you know, plus he's very flexible, or they, I should say.
I'll say they.
Yeah, they are very flexible. I'm still gonna have to go with a pass.
Yeah, and even if you somehow had so many like drinks in your system, and when they whisper in your ear, that is gonna be the most distorted thing you're ever gonna hear with all these like weird filters, voices that go in, and that's gonna sober you up so quickly you'd be able to like fly a plane. So
Yeah, definitely a pass. So second to last now we have Vecna, who's also the Lich from D&D. He is a necromancer. He was very studious while he was in his magic school, and yeah, he's just a very powerful, very scary dude, basically.
yeah, that's a pretty way of putting it. I'm
Yeah.
not very familiar
To
with
summarize.
yeah, I'm not the most familiar with the world of Dungeons and Dragons. My cousin has me beat out in that. But after like seeing him learning about his lore, he's very much a very magical, kind of cool dude. But bro, like looking at his frame, he's got that Mandark look from Dexter's Laboratory, and he's like just a rib cage
Yeah.
and like skin that's falling apart. I do like the fact that he does read books though, so that is definitely a plus, even though it's maybe not the best books.
Basically a floating undead dude himself,
I don't even.
essentially. He's
Yeah.
just like a living skeleton.
I'm afraid if I like hug him incorrectly, he's gonna like break apart and fall apart.
And also, like, the way that he's designed, not that it's like necessary, but like, what does he even have anything downstairs?
I think it may have fallen off. I don't
It's
know.
quite possible. I personally, I don't know. Under the right circumstances, and I don't know what those circumstances could possibly be, I might say smash, but I think I'm just gonna have to go pass, because
I'm-
there's nothing drawing me to the smash, you know?
Yeah.
There's nothing really making me be like, yeah, I would want to, so.
Yeah, there's nothing that's leaning me towards smash either. Maybe I might accidentally smash his bones in the result, but I'm just gonna go
You want
pass on
to
this
get
one.
boned by
by
Vecna?
literal bones. I mean, he has all those skeletons he summons too, so that makes it worse. But yeah, I'm passing on
Unless
this
you're
one
into
too.
orgy.
But I'm not though.
Okay, fair. All right, so I guess pass. Last but not least, we have Dracula, the
As-
Dark Lord.
As of this recording, this is the latest character to be included in the game.
He is from the Castlevania world, and there he is basically the devil. I don't think there's much I have to say about Dracula. I think we all kind of have an idea of who Vladdy is.
You wanted to be a
Okay.
vampire when you were a kid, so
Okay.
you're living your fantasy with
Yes,
this one.
I looked up how to turn into a vampire for hours and looked into local graveyards that might have cults I could join. Did I do it? No.
Would I have been upset if you did? No.
Thank you for the support. Would I still do it if I could? So anyway, I think I'm gonna have to go with Smash.
I mean,
he is so beautiful, and as you can tell, I kind of have a thing for vampires.
and the cool thing is, I mean, I'm also smashing Dracula here because one, you could eventually become a vampire yourself. I don't know if that's how it works in this world of Castlevania, but
I'm not against the biting.
I'm not against it either. But I will say, what also makes it fun is I also love how he always has like a nice glass of wine. He's very presentable. I love his clothing. He's always best dressed for you.
It's true. He has
Always will offer a nice drink,
Yep.
even if it is blood, maybe. But even
the
though he has it
Romanian
ready.
accent's quite nice.
And the best part is, if it is a smash and if it's at his place, it is the most beautiful looking castle.
Very beautiful setting.
So yeah, that castle,
A good place to go.
yeah, definitely.
Like, even if it ended in the worst possible outcome, I think I would be happy about it.
You like closed your eyes and never woke up again? Damn, at least I went out in a good way.
Yeah, so Vlad the Impaler, if you are listening to this,
All right, so that's a smash from both of us.
Alright, that is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I had a lot of fun with it. Let me know if you did too down in the comments, and let me know who your top smasher passes are from Dead by Daylight. Thank you again, Nick, for joining me.
Thank you. I know I've had you on a few of my videos, and I'm happy to be on yours, and looking forward to having you join more Smasher Passes, maybe some that involve fighters in the streets, so maybe that's something.
Oh my god. Yeah, we also did, if you're into it, Tekken 8 and Mortal Kombat 1 Smasher Pass. Those are on his channel, so we can link those probably.
Yeah, we'll be able to link those.
I don't know
yeah.
how YouTube works. He's editing this, not me.
Yeah. I'm doing it because I love you.
Thank you.
Yeah, but yeah, thank you for tuning into this. This was a fun time. I'm
fun.
happy to do this with you,
Thank
and
you.
yeah, this is a good time.
Yeah, thank you again. Comment below what you thought, and smash the like button if you feel like it. I don't know. I'm not your mom. I'm not gonna tell you what to do.
All right, thank you, everyone.
That's all. Bye.